Hey guys, welcome to Unit 8A Section 2. Today we're going to be talking about central angles and arc measure. So a central angle, it's an angle whose vertex is the center of a circle. Oop, not how you spell of. So at the very center, notice right here, this would be a central angle because the vertex at point C is right there. We have different types of arc measures. We have the minor arc. That's an arc whose central angle is less than 180 degrees. We have major arc, which is an arc whose central angle is greater than 180 degrees. And then we have a semicircle, which is a half circle, an arc whose central angle is exactly 180 degrees. Now we do have what's called arc addition, which is the measure of an arc formed by two adjacent arcs is the sum of the two arcs. We also have congruent arcs. They have the same radius, and they also have the same measures in the same or congruent circles. So we're going to see this in the next slide here. So we want to find the measure of arcs A, B, and CD, and if they are congruent. So really quick, I should backtrack. The arc is this it's the part outside of the angle. It's the section represented on the circle. That is the arc, and how many degrees it covers out of 360. So down here, when we're talking about this arc, find the measure of arcs AB and CD. So arc AB is from here to here. Now notice, this is 95 degrees, so this angle next to it is going to give us the central angle. So what we would do, is since these form a straight line, we're going to take 180, subtract 95, giving us 85 degrees. So this angle here is 85 degrees, therefore making arc AB is going to be, well, 85 degrees, because that's what the angle measure is. And then we want to find CD. CD is also going to be 85, because these are vertical angles, so they're congruent. Are they congruent? Yes, because they're vertical angles. The next one, find the measures of arc AB and CD on these two separate ones. These ones are both going to be 125. And since they have the same radius, noted by this is going to be yes. They are congruent because we have congruent circles. The last part, we are looking at this outer section is 210, but we want this section here. So what we're going to do is 360 minus 210, which gives us 150. Now both of these arcs from C to D and from A to B are represented by 150 degrees, but they are not going to be congruent because the circles are not congruent. So we are going to say no for this one, and then it would be because the circles aren't congruent. These are concentric circles, not congruent circles. All right, continuing on here. In the figure, PR and QS are the diameters of circle U. We want to find the measure of each arc. Now, one thing to note is you can have two letters to kind of decide which direction you're going, or you can have three letters. If it's two letters, you're always taking the shortest path possible. So for P to Q, I'm going to go from here to here because that's the shortest path. Now, the measurement for this, if you look here, 42 is a vertical angle, so that means this is also 42. So that arc is going to be 42 degrees. Then we have I skipped one. TQR is the next one. So we have to follow the path in this order, T to Q to R. So we are going all the way around to here. Now we know this is 64 right here. This is 42. we need to figure out what this angle here is. And to do that, we know that since this is a diameter from Q to S, what we can do is take the known angle of 42 and subtract that from 180. So 180 minus 42 gives us 138. And then we can just add up all four of these sections, or all three of these sections, excuse me, the 64, the 42, and the 138. And what we're going to end up getting is 244 degrees. Then number 3, S to T. Sorry, I'm going to do a lot of erasing here. So S to T, remember we're doing the shortest distance, would be this one right here. And to get S to T, that is going to be 180 minus, so we are looking, if we think of this whole circle right here, or this whole half circle, we have 42, 64, and then we can call it X if we want. That's the unknown piece. All of them together make up 180, so we're just going to take away 64 and 42 from this. And that's going to give us 74 if you type that in your calculator. So this missing angle right here is 74 degrees. The last one, PQS. So thinking about what we've filled in so far, I'm just going to keep those values. We know all of the single marks, PQ all the way to S. Well, from Q to S, that's going to be 180. That's half the circle. So we just need to do 180 plus 42 because we need to add this P to Q. And that's going to give us 222 degrees. All right, the next part, and this is the last slide. Find the indicated arc measure of QS. So QS, we're going the shortest distance possible, which would be this one. We know that we've used up 52, and then we also know that this arc and our QS arc are the same. So if we think of this as 360 and we take away the 52, what we're left with is going to be 308. And if these are the same, we could call them both X. Well, if they're the same, we can just cut this in half. So we're going to get QS is equal to 154 degrees. This one's going to be a little bit more work. We have to recognize that there's a lot of X's and Y's. And note, this is going to be 90 because of the right angle. So now looking at this, you kind of have to decide where you want to start. It's actually easiest if we start with X, because 2X, 90, and X all form 180 degrees. So we can add all three of those together. 2X plus X plus 90, and that should equal 180. So we get 3X plus 90 is 180, subtract 90. 3X equals 90, divide by 3, X equals 30. So now that we know X, we can fill that in. So this angle would be 30, and then this angle here would be 60 because it's 2 times bigger. And now to solve for Y, we just need to fill in part of this. So this angle over here, since it's vertical with this one, is going to be 60 as well. And what we can do for this last part is to just take 2y plus 60. If you add the y's together, this is going to be half the circle right here. And that should be 180. So we subtract 60. 2y equals 120. Divide by 2. And we get y equals 60 to get both of our answers. All right, so some of the big takeaways just to remember are the circle adds up to 360 degrees. Looking for semicircles, half circles, which measure 180 are really useful. And when you are talking about arc measure, you're always going for the shortest distance possible. Unless there's 3 points, then you have to follow the path.